Hello, good morning. You're watching BBC Breakfast and I am in Manchester, where 19 people have been killed and more than 50 injured in an attack at a concert. Police are treating it as a terrorist incident.
Oh my God.
Crowds fled in panic from the Manchester Arena after an explosion at the end of a performance by the singer Ariana Grande last night. A loud bang was heard and witnesses reported the smell of burning.
Screaming, shouting, just people, mad, chaotic rush to the nearest exit.
Suddenly, like, something really hot just flew over us and landed behind me and my mum and my sister. And then we all, like, dropped to the floor.
Armed police and ambulances rushed to the arena just before 11 o'clock. The Home Secretary, Amber Rudd, has described the blast as a barbaric act. Police say they are working hard to establish exactly what happened.
We are currently treating this as a terrorist incident until we have further information. This is clearly a very concerning time for everyone.
If you're just waking up to this news, here on BBC Breakfast this morning, we will keep you right up to date with the facts as we know them. We will also be seeing witnesses here, eyewitnesses to that attack last night.
Greg Dawson, BBC News.
I'm right on the edge on what is a massive police cordon around the Manchester Arena, and you can hear above me, if you can hear that noise, that is a police helicopter still out this time in the morning, several hours after that explosion. So many people talking overnight of how they tried to escape from the arena, about what they saw as well. I'm just going to speak to a couple of people who've been awake all night, who were at that concert. Kennedy Hill and her mum Stephanie. Morning to you. Thanks so much for coming to talk to us. And just give us a little sense of when you I know you were there last night. Did you hear things? When did you know something had happened?
We heard a bang, and it wasn't a particularly loud bang. It was sort of an echoey bang. And in the concert, she'd released some pink helium balloons. And we thought one of those had popped, or a couple of them had popped. And it was, so we looked at each other and didn't really think anything of it, and then people started to panic, and they started
cascading down the stairs, which people had just gone out to exit, at which we looked at each other like, well, what's going on? And then there was 6 seconds or so where the whole arena was just still and silent. There was absolutely nothing, and then that was it. Pandemonium started.
People started rushing away from that area over to the area where we were, and there was like a bottleneck, and everybody's trying to get up the stairs, and there's phones being thrown on the floor.
I mean, people lost shoes. We were running past shoes, which people obviously not even thought about and just run. And we made our way up to the top of the stairs, and we said to one of the security guys who were working there, where do we go? Like, which way are we going? Because at that time we didn't know what it was. And he was like, well, we don't know, and everyone was just running in different directions, and there were young girls in 2s and 3s just on the phone to parents, and then we came across a young girl who I think she was having a panic attack, and she was on her own, and she couldn't find her mum, so we kind of dragged her with us, because we were like, we're not leaving you here. We found her mum. Just at the same time as a haze of like smoke came around the corner.
And that smell of bonfire night, when all the fireworks had gone off, and we came out at the steps.
And I think the steps are right behind.
They are, really steep steps, and people were running down those, they were tripping over, things were just going flying, and the police were all there. They were armed police with, their guns, their ambulances. It was just, they were there so quickly, it was unbelievable. But we didn't know, even then we didn't know what was going on. We're thinking, oh my God, we're going to get shot. So we ran and we hid under a bridge for about 40 minutes till we could calm ourselves down. Just didn't want to go with the flow, because we're thinking that's the wrong thing to do.
And I know there were lots of stories, and you talk about finding a young girl, teenager as well, obviously, parents trying to find their children. So it was happenstance that you two were together, wasn't it?
I have no idea how we stuck together. We were saying that before. I have no idea how we managed to stick together in all of that, because it was crazy.
I mean, there must be broken bones, with the people that were injured because of some of the falls that people took.
Yeah.
It was just, sort of every man for himself.
And just tell us a little bit about the people who are there, because she has a young fan base, doesn't she?
I mean, everybody around us, there was a young boy next to us, there were young girls in front of us. I mean, we were literally surrounded by younger people than me, I'm 19. So, yeah.
And they were enjoying it. They were really enjoying the concert.
And it was good. It's not something they should see. It just shouldn't have happened. There shouldn't have been that many fatalities. I mean, it literally was heartbreaking. I mean, we sat and watched the news.
And tell me about, because you're not from here, are you? You can't get home at this point.
Yeah, no, our car's in the arena car park, so we've been told that maybe later on today, but probably tomorrow, we'll be able to get our car back. So we're just making plans now we've stayed hoping that we could get into the car, but there's no chance of that now, so we're making plans now to go home.
And I know lots of people were offering help last night as well to people like you who couldn't get home.
Yeah, I mean, that was great, but in the sense of what had just happened, I mean, a young guy came into the hotel that we were just in the lobby of, and he was offering a lift, and I mean, that had just happened, and we were like, we can't do that. Like I mean, I don't think I'll ever be able to be maybe at festivals or a big crowd as such without being cautious. I mean, I'm cautious anyway, but I mean, that's just really, that was terrifying. Like, I've never run for my life, ever.
I've never been so scared.
No, neither.
Thank you both very much for coming to talk to us. I hope you get home safe today. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. And that is a story that's been echoed throughout the night as well. And we understand that this explosion happened in the foyer just after the concert had ended. And we've heard many, many stories overnight that we'll be talking about here on BBC Breakfast about parents desperately trying to find their children, many of them waiting outside for their children when that explosion went off. The latest we know, official figures, and if you're just waking up this morning to hear this news, it is that 19 people were killed in that explosion last night at the Manchester Arena, and over 50 have been injured. And we will just keep you right up to date with all the latest information we have here on BBC Breakfast.
Thank you very much for that, Louise. And Louise